Hello and welcome to Creative Writing at 202 Fiction Seminar. I love fiction. It's probably my favorite thing in the whole world. I especially love short stories. As you go through fiction and you start to explore what you are passionate about, you'll find that there are a million and one ways to be passionate about it, and that there are so many different angles and explorations, genres, subgenres. There's so many different angles to take. So I personally love short stories. I love Southern Gothic works, which is a very specific time period and a very specific set of authors. I love all things exploratory when it comes to fiction. So, I am your instructor for this course, Claire Barker, and in class I just go by Claire. Sometimes that can feel a little odd, but it really depends on which university you're at. There are plenty of times where I call people Dr. So-and-so or Professor so-and-so, but also there are plenty of universities where people go by their first names. So that's what I do. I just go by Claire. I also do that because we are teammates, and I want to learn with you and grow with you, and I want you to feel free to ask any and all questions. So one of our first questions for our getting to know you was, who would you want to imitate? Which author? And I found myself frozen. There are so many fascinating writers out there, and I think it's really important to play with these kinds of ideas. For instance, I did a seminar on King Lear, and we read not just King Lear, but things tangential to that, and we read more Shakespeare. And by the end of it, I was kind of sounding like some of the things Shakespeare was doing. I was falling into sort of rhyming phrases. Those couplets were coming at me. I was using alliteration the way he did. And my professor commented on that and said, I was by far not the only one, that when we immerse ourselves in a particular writer, we are going to start sounding like them. And on one hand, that can be negative because we don't want to mimic someone completely. But on the other hand, it is really, really useful. That taught me a lot about what kind of language I was using, how comfortable I was with it. And it also taught me that there are certain things I wanted to keep. I love alliteration. And as I've gone forward in writing and work, goodness, that class was in like 2001. I have learned that things like alliteration are patterns that we recognize, and that you can bring your reader in amazing ways, because they don't necessarily say, oh, look, they're using alliteration. Instead, they just know that they like it. They know that they feel that sound sort of flowing over them, that patterns are things our brains sort of seek out and try to create even when they're not there. So why not put them in? Why not be in control of them? So there are so many possibilities. I still don't have one single author I'd like to imitate. I did give you a little bit of a list of ideas of sort of pieces I like. But in response to that, I want to encourage you that maybe you feel a little uncomfortable just picking someone as well. So perhaps do something like I did, pick some ideas from different authors, or perhaps look at it and say, you know what, I'm just going to roll the die and pick one this particular time and share what I would pick for that particular person, just to give an idea of who you're reading, what is capturing your attention. These are really valuable questions. It may not seem like a super big one, but it really helps me figure out what you're interested in, because along with teaching English, back in the day, I was a school librarian, and I love connecting you with works that you may be passionate about. So I'm always reading in order to find those new things that I can connect students with. So share your ideas, ask all the questions, and I can't wait to explore fiction with you.